Today we're going to look at a resume for your class.
So the idea that we're looking at here is putting like a background, fleshing out the background to your character a little bit more. Not just the class, but kind of how you play it and how you can bring some of the mechanics that you get from your class features to just kind of bring your characters to life a little bit more, have a little more fun at the table with your buds and everything. The first one that we're going to look at is the resume for a chef. So let's dig in and see what we can do with this thing. And at first you might think, how in the world am I going to play a barbarian who rages and is just this angry mess and who is a chef?
I've met some barbaric chefs.
All you need to do is go look at some clips. You're on YouTube. Go look at some clips of Gordon Ramsay, and you're going to know exactly how to play your barbarian chef.
Yes, please stop our video.
Yeah, please stop this and check it out. So some of the things I think that you can do with this are just kind of reskinning some things. I think if you are a barbarian and you're kind of fighting with weapons, how hard is it? Your DM is probably going to love if you say, hey, you know what, instead of like a club, I'm going to use maybe a suboptimal weapon, but instead of a club, can I say it's a frying pan? Or something of that nature. Like, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Exactly, some improvised weaponry.
Improvised weapons. How cool would that be? You're cooking for your team, and you get you're
always
on watch.
A useful skill.
Yeah, you're on watch.
Within the party,
and you get ambushed. You got a weapon in hand.
And let's not forget the damage that hot oil can do.
Yeah,
to the human skin.
Yeah, make those cases to your DM. What skill is a cooking check? Because I think survival might be if you're cooking out in the if you're out on the road. I think camping. Survival, but
it'd probably be survival.
I think yeah. Let's think about that for just a second. What could some of your cooking checks be for each of these classes? I think if you're like a barbarian, a ranger, fighter, those kind of things where you have a little bit more of a outlander kind of feel, probably survival is going to be your check. I think to make something like that, if you're like cooking wild game or doing something like that,
if you're out in the wilderness, that makes sense.
But I think think about like for a bard, your performance check. You could have your cooking check be a performance check.
Plating is a performance.
Yeah, exactly.
So
presentation and all that.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Think about the way I guess you're cooking for each of your classes if you were going to roll with this. Cleric or druid, you might. It depends what kind of angle you're going to be cooking at. If you're doing like ceremonial feasts or like religious services, work that angle. See if you could work a religion check as part of your cooking.
So you're taking communion.
You're taking communion. Yeah, you're taking communion.
You really want to make the body of your deity really light and flaky.
If it's supposed to be, speaking of plating, if it's supposed to be plated in a certain way, you want to have that representation on the plate. You want to have the ceremony right. How are you going to be a chef when you're a monk? Or are you like a monk? Are you like a chef who is like taking a vow of silence?
You're a chef who's never used a cooking implement in his life.
Yeah.
He pulls everything out of the oven with his bare hands, of course. So over the years,
he's
built up
tough.
those calluses.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
And he joined the monk school, and they discovered that his hands were basically just like big giant clubs.
Yeah, just deadened hunks of flesh.
Exactly.
That can be used to whatever purpose. Any of the spell casting classes, if you can get your hands on prestidigitation, good golly, that is like the universal magician trick cantrip. But I think I always forget about this. Part of prestidigitation is about food. It says something about food. Let's check it out real quick. You instantly clean or soil an object no larger than 1 cubic foot. That's got a lot of untapped potential too, I think. I think it does.
So that'd be cleanup.
Yeah, it'd be cleanup.
Wow.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be super easy. Of course you'd go into being a chef if you could cast.
If you want to be a lazy chef, you gotta go spellcaster. You chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1 hour. Now I don't know why their wording there says you flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material.
That's a lot of food.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But material, they specifically don't say food; they say material. But I think, like, good golly, that's an easy thing to kind of work into if you're, playing this up when you're out of combat or something. You can be constantly using this. It's just a cantrip.
Oh yeah.
I see.
It'll give you an edge in Iron Chef.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have a leg up on the competition. But maybe kind of more to the core of it too is I'm thinking, like, if you're a player and you take this as a this chef kind of background. It's not one of the backgrounds when you're kind of making your character, but if you take it as a resume for your class, really there's going to be times when you can lean into that instead of, like, let's say you get to a point where you need to bribe a guard or something. It's not a super critical thing, but you're just trying to get by, like a toll bridge or something. Instead of just saying to the DM, I've got 15 gold, I'm going to make a intimidation check or bluff check and roll it. I think it's this is what's going to help liven up your character if you can say, you know what? You know how I'm cooking all the time. Let me cook something up.
Some delicious cupcakes.
Yeah, bake him something awesome, and you go up to him and you can say, hey, I know it's tough being, guard. You've been out. How long has your shift been? Buddy up to him.
When's the last time you saw your mom?
When's the last time your mom baked you some? I happen to have some cupcake right here, my man. I think that would be a fun way where you can really bring life instead of just making a die roll. You can use this for some of the things you want to accomplish in the game.
Right. Your cooking is your die roll.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Well done. Fireball.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
That's a waste.
It's fast food.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You just see a cow. Fireball.
Yeah. Fireball. Yeah. Cook the whole thing right through. You literally have some food spells as a cleric. I think they're divine spells, so I think that the druid might get them too. Purify food and drink. Create or destroy water. Create food and water. I think it'd be funny to lean into the purify one. Where is that one at? Purify food and drink. So, like, you might think of that as, like, okay, you're out and you come across, like, some stagnant pool of water or something. You magically, divinely clear it for your party. I think that's a hilarious backup spell if you're a bad chef. if you make something and you and it's bad. Let's say you don't have to be good at being a chef to have this background to lean into it.
Yes, exactly. Your ground beef is just a day too old.
It's a day too old, but
you made it anyway. It smelled a little funny.
But now
that your stew is done, yeah, it smells off. It's not tasty good.
I love that too because you get access to those through a divine spellcasters. So if you're the cleric, like, how funny would it be if you're not a cleric, you're just a dude. You're just a dude in a town, and you suck at cooking. You can't do it. Like, you're always like, you just overlook. You either overlook or you just don't care about like quality food preparation and not contaminating meat and letting things spoil too much.
You can get so much at a discount.
Yeah, you get so much at a discount. You're frugal.
Stuff.
You try to be very frugal, but it doesn't work out. And I think that you turn to your deity. You turn to your deity because you're not making it as a chef. And so you can just keep doing the same old shit you do all the time.
Dear Pan, I really need to make a profit on this.
I can't. Oh God, I can't. We got another quarter. I think that would be really funny. You could just keep making your bad food, but purify it. So it might look horrible, but it tastes good. This could be a resume for your whole team. You could kind of, it doesn't have to be your campaign, but if everybody had some role in, like, a cooking team, I think you could really make a lot out of that. And you either go from town to town, chased out from bad of everything going wrong, or you could be making a name for yourself and climb up the cooking hierarchy. Like, your campaign could literally be like Iron Chef or something like that. You know,
exactly.
And if you come to your DM with that idea, you're just laying out a roadmap to make his life easy.
Oh, for sure.
That would be cool. I think, yeah, because that's the neat thing about that is I really don't think you have to fit the classes into that team. You can just say, hey, we're going to make a chef team. Think of something that whatever character you want to play, to where you can have the wizard helping flavor your stuff automatically, or make it illusioning it to make it look better. The cool thing about illusion is that it's going to wear off, but they're going to eat the food. So you can make it look good.
Oh, exactly.
You can make it look gorgeous.
Just right before it goes out.
Listen,
right the table service goes out.
If you did this as a team, the profit you could turn from buying spoiled meat,
exactly,
purifying it, illusion, you just throw it on the coals. You just kind of cook it. I don't know. You don't even really have to, because you can purify it. You can make it safe to eat. And then you can make it look like 5-star gourmet. Charge for that illusion. People are going to eat it. They're not going to get sick. And they're not going to know. Like, you could...
Like, that's your campaign in the D&D universe.
That's your campaign. That's your campaign. And whether you're the party doing this, or you're the party stopping, like uncovering
exactly.
this type of behavior, there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities for fun. You know who the odd man out? Speaking of this, like, questionable cooking practices, I think the odd man out here is going to be the rogue. Because if you're a rogue and you're a chef, I think you're making use of your poisoner's kit proficiency that you get that never really comes into play. I think you're going to be doing a lot of that. Here's the thing. It could be the long play. You could try to fake. You've got expertise as a rogue, so you could performance, whatever you decide as your cooking check. You take expertise in it and actually become a good chef until you work your way into the royal court of the noble that you need to assassinate. And it's like, that's your campaign. Your campaign is getting there, the long play.
You're becoming good at a very specific skill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, dang.
The rogue is the chopper.
Yeah.
They're the prep chef.
Yeah. It's like the frying pan for a club or a short sword. If you reskin that and say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to use the damage or this and that, but I'm going to make it bludgeoning, I'm going to use a frying pan. Your dagger is your chef knife. It's sharp, little chef knife, or the cleaver, or the little butcher knife or something.
Like you'd be known for chopping your enemies up into tiny little pieces very quickly.
Yeah, Gangs of New York butcher. You could be. You don't have. There's really, you adapt this to whatever game. Draw inspiration, but if it's not quite fitting in your game, make it your own. But you could be a hardcore, like.
Oh, absolutely.
Badass dude who's a chef is like the butcher, and practices all his killing blows and swipes and things
like on a pig carcass.
On a pig carcass, just like that, or whatever equivalent is kind of in your game. But
he's very proficient with small arms.
Oh yeah,
probably be a fighter, right?
He could be. I think he could be any of those things. Arcane Trickster. Oh, hang on a second. Arcane Trickster could be the rogue chef because you'll have access to some magic. Do you get some cantrips? If you get some you get some cantrips, so you could pick up that prestidigitation. 3 cantrips. Mage hand has to be one of them. So listen, you could be cooking. Yeah. You could be cooking.
What chef does not need a third hand?
Listen, if you need to get that Arcana check into your cooking, do it with Mage hand. You're cooking, you're flipping stuff. The Mage hand is like, it goes up to the shelf and it takes the seasoning and it sprinkles over the 2 pans while you're cooking.
Oh, exactly.
Puts it back. You're flipping it.
That would be invaluable for any chef.
That would be so awesome. It'd be funny.
You get so much done.
And it's something to where, like especially that, you have to take Mage Hand. Mage Hand has to be one of them. That's what it says. You're already going to have, or things that are kind of inconsequential, and just make them really fun. I think that's hilarious.
That would definitely give you an advantage in any cooking competition.
Yeah.
The 3 aims.
Now, there's another aspect to being a chef that I want to touch on here, and I'm going to need to look up some things, but enchantment, charm spells. A lot of them, their descriptions say that they'll have their effect, or you concentrate on them or whatever, and they wear off. The person knows about it. So I think that there's a possibility if you were like a traveling cooking troupe.
You were a food truck.
You're a food truck. Yes, your party is a food truck. I think depending on what spells, I got to see how long some of these last though, because if you could charm or enchant people, like right as they're about to pay their bill, but you need to be like leaving town. You need to be like, someone.
I love that.
One person in your party is collecting the checks.
The waiter.
And one person is loading up the wagon immediately. Like, you're not coming back. Don't do this in the town that your DM is planning for you to come back to, or have recurring missions or anything like that. You do it in the small town that's a stop on the way. But I need to see how, because I think that there's one cantrip that's like friends, but I think it's only a minute. Let me double check that.
That's all you need, though.
That's all you need.
Well, the waiter comes by with the check.
Yeah.
Drops it off.
Yeah.
Little side cast.
Yeah.
Friendship.
Yep.
That's only a minute, but that only takes a few seconds to write that tip in there.
Yeah, I think the only trouble with the minute is, like I said, that needs to be a food truck where they pay you.
Oh yeah, exactly. You got to bolt.
You're like,
you gotta go.
And I think you got to go charm person. It gives you an hour. You can be long gone. You can be gone. You don't have to
totally
be.
gone.
Yeah.
Conjuration wizard, and you have teleport. You have teleport as a skill. You're in a busy city with lots of industry, lots of commerce.
Mm-hmm.
People don't have time to sit down and eat an entire meal with their mouths. They come to Teleport Wizard's restaurant of swiftness, and you just teleport all the
into their stomach.
Just teleport all their meals into their stomach, directly into their stomach and intestine.
This is a food shop for the working man.
Exactly. For someone who doesn't have time to sit down and eat a whole meal, but still needs to eat.
You know what? You're
done in 30 seconds.
Boss is only giving you a half hour for lunch.
You got the big meeting coming up. You got to prepare for.
Yeah.
You don't have time to sit down and wait for some group of weirdos to make you a meal.
All you do is you go. There's a little showcase. You go up to the window there, and you just point at the meal you like.
Mm-hmm.
The man behind the counter snaps his fingers.
All of a sudden, you're full.
You get a little bit of a food baby real quick, and you don't feel.
And you're on about your day.
And you feel like you couldn't eat another bite. Yeah. Jesus, that's a hell of a spell too. You don't have that many 7th level spells. That's
true.
You could handle like a small. You'd be so high level. You'd be so high level. You don't need to be running. You don't need to be running a shop. You don't need to be running a shop anyway. Like you're well beyond that. But hang on a second.
Like, it would have to be something exclusive for like CEOs or something.
Yeah. It's super. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it gives you some ideas, and we'll be looking at doing a few other things like this that are resumes for your class. Hopefully they help inspire you to play some fun concept and just have more fun with your friends when you're playing D&D.
And if you're a chef, don't tell us what we got wrong.
We're so sorry, but we don't care.
Elton Brown.
Yeah,
absolutely, he's a bard.
Here's the thing, and like Emerald. If you're the bard, that's your performance. That's how you cook with a performance check, is you cook like Emerald.
Paula Dean's definitely a cleric.
Paula Dean's definitely a cleric.